Hi everyone. So in this video, I will be talking about TCS digital interview experience. It is a medium level interview. This interview experience is shared by the candidate on our Telegram channel. So I am sharing with you guys. Okay, it's a medium level of interview for TCS digital for 2025 batch. But now we have 2026 interviews. Level will be little bit same. Okay, or you can say the level can be +1 or -1 depending upon your luck. If you have morning shift interview, generally in the morning shift the interviews are little difficult. In the evening shifts they are easy as they want to wrap up the interview early. Okay, before starting the interview, I just want to tell you, if you have less time and if you want to prepare for the interview notes link you will be getting in the description, in which you will be getting the notes for all the subjects. You can just revise your subjects. So there is a crash book with all the important question. You can use this book if you want to prepare for all important question in very less time. Then we have OOPS, programming, STL collection framework, HR question, DSA theory, project-based question, CS fundamental, SQL query, computer science coding sheet, pseudocode output, interview experience sheet. A lot of things we have. In the interview experience sheet, you will be getting a lot of interview experiences of the candidates, so you can prepare better. Okay, the link will be in the description. If you want to prepare quickly, then you can use this interview experience, interview crack notes. Okay, let's start with TCS digital interview experience. So the first question they ask is introduction. Obviously, if you will going to the interview, they will be asking about your introduction. Make sure that you present best of yourself. Okay. So whatever you know best, please put yourself with that. Okay. So your first impression will be very good. So whatever the best in you, please talk about that. I mentioned C++ and Java in my programming language. He asked 5 to 6 questions from OOPS. Okay. So this is just a point of the resume. Okay. That he mentioned C++ and Java in the programming language, and he asked 5 to 6 questions from OOPS. Okay. What is OOPS? Very general question, like what is object oriented programming or OOPS. Okay, so why we use inheritance? Okay, so inheritance, again, it's a term of it is a term in object oriented programming only. So they asked about inheritance, like why we use inheritance, types of inheritance. Can you tell the example of types of inheritance? Okay, so there are multiple types of inheritance, right? So that you can like check out on Google or anywhere. So they asked about the definitions of the types. Also, how will you implement? Okay, what are the types and which language support which kind of inheritance? So these kind of question. Explain polymorphism in detail. It's a two type of polymorphism we already know, static and dynamic. Okay, and they asked about the details about it. Like first of all, explain the details of polymorphism means definition, what kind of types of polymorphism, okay, why we use polymorphism, and how to implement polymorphism. So each and every detail they asked, like in detail they asked about polymorphism. Difference between class and struct. Okay, so this is the question. I think this should be from C++. So class versus struct, they asked. What is void pointer in C++? So they asked about void pointer. Explain the approach to remove character from string B, which are there in string A. Okay, so suppose string A is equals to, suppose A, B, C. Okay, and suppose string B is equals to X, Y, A, B, J, K, C, A, D. Okay, suppose this is string B. Now, string A has ABC and string B has X, Y, A, B, G, K, C, A, D. Now, after executing this program, the string B should be X, Y, J, K, D, because we will remove A, B, and C. Anywhere we will find in string B. So this kind of program approach they asked, like they did not ask to write the whole program. They only asked the approach, like how will you do this? Okay, so oral approach you can say. So how will you do this? They just ask the coding problem approach for this one. Then what is keys? Primary versus foreign key. What is super key? One SQL to update column with some value. So one SQL query also they asked, one SQL query to update column with some value. Explain about your project, challenges in your project, why TCS, your hobbies. Okay, some leadership related question, some situational based question. Okay, so if you will look closely, this is the whole interview. First, they started with the programming language. In detail, they asked like 5 to 6 oops question. After oops, they did one. They asked like one question on programming, like coding problem. Okay. After that, they asked questions on DBMS. Okay, DBMS. This is the interview questions on DBMS. Then project, and then behavior question. Okay, this was the whole interview. The duration of the interview was around 35 minutes. Again, I am repeating, it totally depends upon your luck because some candidates have their interview and it is only for 5 to 10 minutes. But I will be not posting the simple interviews. Definitely, the reason is if you will look some difficult interviews, you will do good preparation. If I will post easy interviews only experiences, then you guys will look for the interview experiences and you will thought that maybe the interview will be very easy, so you will not prepare like in much detail for that. Okay, that's why I'm not like posting very easy interviews. Okay, so this is the reason. Also, if you will look closely the interview, whatever they asked to the candidates, I think most of the questions are covered here in the notes. So they asked the question from oops. So for oops, all the notes we have provided. Okay, so for programming also we have provided. Apart from this, they asked behavior question and situational question. So HR question, situational, behavior question, everything we provided here. Then project, explain project, so we have provided some project related question here. Then SQL related question we have provided here, and in the CS fundamentals we provided the DBMS notes as well. Okay, so I think everything which got asked in the interview was there in the interview notes. Okay, almost everything. So you can look at it if you want to prepare for as soon as possible. Okay, the link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching.